This is your 420 Radio News for Monday, September 9th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Live coverage of Senator Leahy's hearing on marijuana legalization. This from 420 Radio News. Tomorrow, Tuesday, September 10th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Senate Judiciary Committee, chaired by Senator Pat Leahy, Democrat of Vermont, will hold a hearing entitled Conflicts Between State and Federal Marijuana Laws. Senator Leahy has been calling for a sane approach to marijuana policy and hopes to shed light on the development of state-regulated marijuana markets in Colorado and Washington. 420 Radio will bring you live coverage of the hearing beginning tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The Russ Belville Show is assembling a panel of experts to provide analysis and live commentary on the testimony presented to the Senate. Scheduled testimony at tomorrow's hearing includes the Honorable James Cole, Deputy Attorney General of the U.S. Department of Justice, Washington, D.C., the Honorable John Urquhart, the Sheriff of King County Sheriff's Office in Seattle, Washington, Jack Finlaw, the Chief Legal Counsel from the Office of the Governor John W. Hickenlooper, Denver, Colorado, and Kevin Sabet, the co-founder and director of Project SAM, director of the Drug Policy Institute at the University of Florida. Questioning the panelists will be members of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Leahy's interest in reform is matched by the ranking member, Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa, his fervent support of continued marijuana prohibition. No senator from Colorado or Washington sits on this committee. Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat of California, headed the opposition to her state's legalization attempt in 2010. New Jersey Assembly votes on changes to medical marijuana law from abc.com. The Assembly has approved a major change to New Jersey's fledgling medical marijuana program. Monday's vote will allow dispensaries to grow and sell more than 3 varieties of pot to patients and provide the drug in an edible form to children. The measure was inspired by families who said their children with severe epilepsy would benefit from using certain types of marijuana. Lawmakers passed a bill in June, but Governor Chris Christie issued a conditional veto last month. Christie said he will approve the bill if it does not eliminate the requirement that at least 2 doctors sign off before children can have access to medical cannabis. Of the 20 states that have laws allowing medical marijuana, New Jersey is considered to have the strictest regulations. Washington State sets rules for recreational marijuana industry from Al Jazeera America. Washington State regulators aiming to limit the state's nascent marijuana industry want to cap the amount of space available to grow recreational marijuana in the state at 2 million square feet, the equivalent of about 35 NFL football fields. The limit was among proposed state marijuana rules released by the Washington State Liquor Control Board on Wednesday. In addition to limiting the amount of space that can be allocated to growing recreational pot, the new draft rules in Washington State also cap how much non-medical marijuana can be grown statewide at 40 metric tons and would limit recreational use pot growers to a footprint of up to 30,000 square feet per facility. Pot regulations in action. Maine dispensaries fined for using pesticides. This from the San Francisco Gate. In an example of how regulations on cannabis can serve public health and safety, the operator of 4 of Maine's medical pot dispensaries has stopped using pesticides after a state investigation. The Maine Board of Pesticides Control fined Wellness Connection of Maine $18,000 on September 6th for unlawful use of pesticides on marijuana, reports the Portland Press Herald. The board found 9 pesticides at Wellness Connection's growing operations and 20 violations in all between May 2012 and March 2013. Wellness Connection has paid the fine in full and revamped its operations, the group stated. Long lines, but no hassles for free pot giveaway at Denver Civic Center, from the Denver Post. Shouting "Free the weed," scores of marijuana lovers stood in line Monday for free joints offered by opponents of tax issues on the statewide and Denver ballots in November. Rob Corey, who helped organize the event at Denver's Civic Center, said he supported and helped write the language of Amendment 64, the ballot issue passed last year by Colorado voters that made the possession of an ounce or less of marijuana by people over 21 legal under state law. Corey does not support Proposition AA on this year's ballot that asks voters to approve a 15% tax and initial 10% sales tax on the sales of recreational marijuana. Corey also opposes Denver's tax question that could add a 3.5% sales tax with the option to hike it up to 15%. This has been your 420 Radio News for Monday, September 9th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we have highlights from the Seattle U.S. Cannabis Cup this weekend, including interviews with Allison Holcomb and Anthony Johnson from New Approach Washington and New Approach Oregon, respectively, Rick Cusick from High Times Magazine, Keith Stropp, the founder of NORML, and Brightside PDX owner-operator Calico Castile. This is the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.